5 years after the first Double or Nothing, I never would have guessed that 2024's event would end up with someone hanging upside down and someone else being set on fire. Double or Nothing was a long but pretty good pay-per-view, with wild moments either from a spot or the very loud return of MJF. But with their first 2 shows this year being extra good, it made the negatives here kind of stick out like a sore thumb. But at least with every match, the positives usually outweighed the negative, which led to not even a single bad match on the card, just not a big match of the year candidate. I'm Duke from Duke It Out, here to give you every match at AEW Double or Nothing 2024, from its worst to its best. Before I begin, please make sure to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel for more great wrestling content. Number 10, Chris Jericho vs. Hook vs. Katsuyori Shibata. I'm not hating this story with Jericho, but the triple threat here was for the most part an overbooked spot fest that could have easily been a part of Dynamite this week. Everyone performed fine, and the reveal of Brian Keith being a part of Jericho's learning tree is interesting enough, but all that'll be remembered here is Big Bill almost getting impaled through the table. Like, he looked up for a second just to solidify, holy shit, I almost fucking died. Number 9, Orange Cassidy vs. Trent Beretta. A solid singles match that, while having good back and forth chemistry, did seem to last a bit too long. And Cassidy getting the win just made me feel bad for Trent. I hope more interesting things are being built up for Trent, because if not, this match was just the end of an era with the best friends. Number 8, Bang Bang Gang vs. Death Triangle. This was a pretty fun 6-man tag that, with a smaller card, could have been taken advantage of way more. But we still got moments to remember. The entrance from Death Triangle was great. Pat continues to show that he's the best in the business to sell a DDT. And the highlight of it all with Juice Robinson returning to AEW. And this could only lead to better things for the faction. Number 7, Jon Moxley vs. Konosuke Takeshita. Out of any of the matches on the card, this one made me feel the most weird, because everything in the first half is really good. Takeshita doing awesome offense to the injured arm of Mox, with Jon doing some amazing selling along with it. But the Don Callis interference costing Konosuke the win just made him look a little stupid. And if New Japan doesn't want their champion losing, maybe this is one that could have been left off the card. Number 6, Timeless Toni Storm vs. Serena Deeb. It sucks that the crowd was dead for Serena Deeb here, but at the same time, we know she wasn't a real threat to Toni's reign. But as it kept going, they both showed their awesome skills. Serena being able to do some intelligent counters and show some resilience, and Toni seemed to further drop the Timeless gimmick and just further become a machine in the ring. And the last few minutes had some good near falls and an awesome conclusion. Number 5, Adam Copeland vs. Malachi Black. Before I get into anything I loved about this match, because there is plenty, take it over, Roddy. Adam! Copeland is my favorite wrestler of all time. Probably always will be. But that cage dive was one of the most stupidly scary spots I've ever seen. Adam Copeland is 50 years old, and not only do we want to see him have a solid year or two at least left of his career, especially to team with Christian again, but we also just want him to be able to fucking walk. And Copeland updated he has to have surgery from a fractured tibia, so I wish a very speedy and healthy recovery. Anyway, this barbed wire steel cage match was still a lot of fun. Both of them bleeding wild for it, House of Black teasing a turn, which did get me, I will admit, and an awesome interference from Gangrel. I just don't want to see Copeland doing something like that cage spot ever again. And if this is the last match for Malachi in AEW, he went out with a wild one. Number 4, Roderick Strong vs. Will Ospreay. This opening match had hopes for some great back and forth chemistry, and we did get plenty of that, but I think there were a bit too many interference spots. And like with the Copeland match, gave me a very scary spot, making me concerned for Ospreay. But they kicked things back up very well, and the smooth counters Ospreay had in the closing half were incredible, which led to an easy guessing but awesome win for Ospreay. And it's seeming like he's going to take the name of the international title literally, and defend it in a lot more indie promotions. Number 3, Swerve Strickland vs. Christian Cage. I mentioned this pay-per-view was very long, so I wasn't sure what the quality of this match would be when I was watching the show. And they put on a real clinic. The interference spots fit more here because it's become a part of Christian's character at this stage, and they used it to elevate their already great spots. Christian doing some smooth counters, and the pace he kept up with for this match was awesome. And Swerve was the other half of the great pace. Asserting his dominance as champion, yet still making his opponent look good, and bringing some very fun twists on his moveset, which made the ending even more memorable. I think with time especially, this match will be further appreciated. Number 2, Willow Nightingale vs Mercedes Monae. This was the most anticipated women's match for AEW in a long time, and I think it really delivered not just in quality, but what it was wanting to do in the end. Giving Mercedes a big title win for her debut match, yet also showing just how incredible Willow Nightingale is. Giving her best AEW performance so far, doing some terrific selling with her leg, and the timing with her spots was incredible. And since this was the first match in about a year for Mercedes, a couple of spots did feel a bit off, but she brought in her terrific selling, and her quickness brought more unpredictability. I was both happy to see Mercedes win, but really bummed to see Willow lose her first title in AEW so fast. And with the Statlander heel turn, I hope Willow starts aiming for gold again after their feud. And number 1, The Elite vs Team AEW. The third Anarchy in the Arena, and while all of them have been crazy, this year has got the craziest, and my second favorite out of the 3. This had the best usage they've ever done with the music invading the beginning. Them playing through Darby's theme, a bit of the new Elite theme, and brilliantly capping it off with the final countdown, blaring while literal chaos is happening. And Matthew Jackson acknowledging it's gonna cost them $200 grand was hilarious. And even if I wasn't a fan of a certain spot, it then lead to something fun. Like the weird car crash spot leading to Darby Allin setting Jack Perry on fucking fire. Then you've got Okada being charismatic as hell. Then we get exploding chair shots, thumbtacks, super kicks, and Perry pinning Bryan while Darby is hung upside down. I understand if it wasn't for everyone, but I was wanting some chaotic entertainment, and it gave me the most energy from anything on the show. So that was my ranking for Double or Nothing 2024. Please let me know your opinions on the pay-per-view in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, ring the bell for notifications, and duke out your opinions below in the comments.